Welcome back. It is, well, it's wood burning season, one of my favorite times of the year. That means it is time for us to get all of our wood burning things ready. I've been spending the year getting wood stacked and seasoned and split and put in the garage and put inside and put on the back deck and put in our wood storage areas. Now we are ready to start our wood burning process. So here in Michigan, we are in the lower peninsula, the lower peninsula, I guess you would say, maybe mid lower peninsula. Around October, we start getting some temperatures that fluctuate wildly. So here in Michigan, it's known, we're known for our fluctuations in weather. So it could be 80 degrees, one day, and then the next day the high is only 45, and then the next, a week later it could be back up in the 70s again, and then the lows could be in the 30s. So it's very difficult to heat and cool a home at that time because do you have your air conditioning on? Some days you might need it, some days you might need the heat overnight. You got kind of both things going on. So what we do here is we run our wood stoves inside. We have two inserts. We have two fireplaces inside the house. In the very lowest level of the house, we have our larger insert, and that's the one that we're going to be running during this season. So what we do is we'll run that overnight when the nights are cold. When the days are cold, we'll let it run all day long, and that will actually heat. It dissipates throughout almost the entire house. We're not using any of the outdoor wood boiler yet. We're not firing any of that stuff up. What I usually do is either once per year or once every other year, just depending on how often I'm using various wood stoves in the house, I will clean the chimneys. This is also the time when we're gonna inspect those wood stoves, make sure the fire bricks, if there's anything that needs to be replaced in the stoves, we're gonna replace them at this time before we get them fired up and they're running almost constantly for the next month or so. So I've already gone down and you saw me clean out the ashes, take out the fire bricks and the ceiling of that wood stove insert, and so that exposes the chimney pipe connection. Cleaned out some soot and things like that in there. And I have a chimney cleaning kit I've used before. If you've followed the channel, I've used this kit many times. It's an Amazon purchase. I've used it for about 4 years now, and it's been perfect. Actually, I think I've had it longer than that. I like to start on the inside first, get that all cleaned up, get the chimney exposed, and then I come up to the roof. Now, you can do this all from inside if you want to. Using the cleaning kit that I have here, the instructions say to do it from the inside, and I'll tell you why I don't do that in just a minute. What this comes with is a bunch of these long sticks here. They're pretty tough nylon or something like that, and then it has this ball on the end that you just put weed whipper twine in. So I've got various lengths in here. And this basically just whips up against the sides, knocks all that soot and creosote and everything built up in those stovepipes loose, and it's all gonna fall down to the bottom. And then it comes with a whole bunch of these sticks. In fact, I have 2 of these kits because this is such a long chimney. I actually needed I need more sticks. You just keep attaching more and more sticks as you go, and you get all the way to the bottom, and then you pull it out and you're done. The reason I don't do it from the inside, you could do this without getting on the roof. You expose your chimney pipe on the wood stove, and then you just feed this in from the inside. I don't do that because 2 reasons. I don't want to bring all this stuff. This stuff is dirty. It's got soot all over it from previous years. I don't want to bring all those tools and equipment down into my house on the carpet or the flooring that we have or anything like that. I don't want to get a bunch of dirt and soot and all that stuff. This stuff is awful for your house. So I want to keep all this stuff outside. So that's one reason. The second reason is if you do it from the inside, all that soot and all the dust from that, as you're cleaning it out, it's gonna get into the house. And so they have you gotta run vacuum cleaners and put dust covers over your stove and all that stuff. I don't do any of that. I just close the wood stove, shut it tight, and now that's all fairly sealed up in there. So when I'm running this through from the top, it's gonna knock all that soot and dust and stuff like that. It's all gonna settle down into that wood stove. I'll let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes. I'm gonna go down there, I'm gonna open that up, I'm gonna scoop all that out, and I'll put all the fire bricks back in. So I'm not gonna get any dust or soot in the house at all. So we're gonna take the cap off. We're actually gonna be working on the one to my right here today. We're gonna take the cap off. We're gonna run this down there in and out a few times, and then we'll put the back together. We'll go downstairs and see how much stuff we knocked out. It actually doesn't look too bad in there, but we've definitely got some creosote. That's the fuel. That's the stuff that'll get caught on fire if we don't clean it out of there. So these coated gloves are not the right choice. You need something to slip. I kept getting bound up on the sticks as they were spinning, so I had to take the glove off. Got my hand dirty. Now we get to see how much we cleaned out. Well, there was already some in there from the bricks, but that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of soot that was in that chimney. This is a real tall chimney. I don't know how many feet it is, probably 30 feet. So last year I did come through and get new fire bricks. Try to do my best to fit. There's some kind of strange angles and things like that in here, so these don't all fit in here perfectly, but it doesn't really need any new fire bricks. It is missing one of these tubes. However, I just looked online and the cheapest I could find was over $200 for one of these things, so it's been working just fine without them. It probably doesn't burn quite as efficient, but I'm not spending $200 on that thing right now, so we'll leave that alone. So now I'm gonna shovel this out. I do have the ash bucket that I've used for many years. This has been one of the best purchases I've made as far as fireplace accessories. So we'll use this to scoop out the soot and ashes out of here. I'm just using a normal vacuum cleaner, no special soot, filters or anything like that. It works just fine to just clean up the little bit that's left in here. These, I'll use the vacuum to kind of clear out those tubes. I'll run the vacuum along these little air. This is the glass wash. It puts air right along the glass here to keep that clean. I'll run the vacuum on all these tubes just to see if we can suck any soot or dust or anything that's settled in those out. I'm not going to remove them, and just kind of clean this up. You don't need to make it perfect. Obviously it's going to get ash in it just the next time you have a fire anyway. And then all these fire bricks, none of them were cracked, so I'm going to put all those back in. Each one of these is very expensive. Some of these are like $15 a piece, so you want to be careful with those. The real dark black stuff here, that's all unburned. That is basically bits of charcoal, essentially, that's stuck to the side of that chimney pipe. And so this will burn. You could take, if I could separate this out from the ash and put this on, in a flame or whatever, this will burn. It'll burn just like charcoal. So that's what we want to clean out of the sides of that chimney so it doesn't catch on fire. This also burns very hot. This is actually really good fuel, so we want to clear that out. That's why we do this. And the best way that I have found to clean the glass is just a wet paper towel. And I do this sometimes even when this is still hot. I'll open the door in the morning and you're just gonna get some ash on your paper towel that's from the door itself, and you're just gonna start to scrub, and the ash itself will actually help to clean off the glass and get a little more ash on there. Let's use a clean one. Get a little more water on there. We're all nice and clean, vacuumed up. I don't know if I need to say this or not, but obviously don't use a regular vacuum cleaner if you've had a fire even within a week, because there could be coals in the fire and you'll suck them in your vacuum cleaner, and then your vacuum cleaner will start on fire and burn your house down. Don't do that. So this one has two different intake. This one here is actually to start up the fire, and it puts air in those back tubes. So it brings a lot of air in from the back, and then the air actually comes in and then goes out the front here, goes up above along this cast iron, and then goes up through the chimney. Once the fire gets going, you close this one, and then you just use this one. This one here is the main air intake that allows air to come in through the reburn tubes up there, and so you can control how much air is getting into the fire and therefore control the burn. Let's grab some kindling and get it started up. Have you seen these? This is an electronic lighter. You just recharge it and it'll light. So I've got two different kinds. I got this one for my birthday that has a flexible neck on it. So you can actually use this to start our shop heater, which has a little pilot light that you need to kind of get up in there with. So, but these things are sweet. This is always an exciting time of year. The weather is going to start to change pretty rapidly over the next month. In late October and November, we can see some big snowstorms sometimes, late November, early December. And everything kind of moves inside. And so we want to be ready to have a comfortable home. We want to be ready to heat with wood. That's our goal, is to not use any propane or other fuel sources. We just use wood to heat at home, and we'll be firing up our outdoor wood boiler here pretty soon. Usually early November, mid-November, we'll fire that up, and that will heat our entire home through the coldest parts of the year. We'll take you guys along for firing that up this year and getting that going, and what we have for wood. Do we have enough wood? That's always the question. So we'll take you along for all of that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today. Don't forget to hit thumbs up, of course, and subscribe if it's your first time here. We'd love to have you tag along. We'll see you next time.